Good morning, St. Paul's. Today is Wednesday, September 24th, and you're watching Wolf TV, bringing you the latest news, sports, entertainment, and everything in between. We are live, and we have a great show for you today. Here are the announcements for today. If so, join us in room L207 for an informational meeting for the St. Paul's Computer Club today at lunch. Kona Ice will be in the Founders Circle today at lunch.
Stay tuned for information on picking up homecoming shirts. On Friday, wear your homecoming t-shirts or white shirts along with PE shorts. We will have an extended fun lunch with games and then our glow-in-the-dark pep rally. Attention St. Paul's soccer players. There will be 2 meetings this week for upper class soccer players. All 10th graders who plan on trying out for soccer this season must meet at the beginning of lunch Thursday in room 110. All juniors and seniors will meet in room 110 after school Thursday.
Now let's look at today's news. On Tuesday, President Trump took the podium at the United Nations General Assembly in Manhattan, New York. Trump lectured the attending nations on how they are failing in an hour-long speech before the assembly even started. Trump attacked the European Union for helping Russia continue the war by continuing to buy its gas and oil products. They have to immediately cease all energy purchases from Russia, President Trump said during his speech. Trump looked a nicer tone to Brazil's president, signaling he would like to meet with him. This happened right after Brazil's president attacked Trump in his opening speech. The United States hit Brazil with 50% tariffs and sanctions before the assembly occurred. Trump then moved on to Britain, where he criticized the extensive taxes on oil drilling, which has led to the decline of drilling in the North Sea. Outside of the United Nations building, protesters filled the streets with anti-Trump signs and chants. About a dozen were arrested for blocking traffic and more. At 57 minutes, Trump's speech was the longest he has ever delivered before the UN General Assembly.
LaSallians worldwide came together for the International LaSallian Days of Peace, which began on September 21st and will continue through October 21st. In their ongoing efforts for justice and peace, the month-long global initiative will focus on prayer, reflection, dialogue, and action to promote changes in communication and understanding. Under this year's theme, We Are Bridges for Peace, From Conflict to Connection, key highlights include the virtual launch of Let's Talk, LaSallian. On September 22nd, weekly dialogues and prayer activities, the Climate and Connection webinar on September 27th, and the Youth in Action webinar on October 25th. Join LaSallians everywhere in building bridges of understanding and transforming conflict into connection.
Scientists have discovered a new species of dinosaur in the Patagonia, Argentina, named Joaquin raptor. This creature was found with a leg bone of an ancient crocodile-like animal pressed against its jaws, suggesting that it was feasting when it met its end. The species was named by paleontologist Luco to honor his son Joaquin, saying, "My son is not necessarily fascinated by dinosaurs, but all kids like dinosaurs, so he would probably be a fan too." The fossil was discovered in a rock formation and is one of the most complete skeletons ever found from a group of predators called Megaraptorians. This group lived around 66 to 70 million years ago and were best known for their long skulls and massive claws. Researchers recovered parts of the skull, arms, legs, and tail, which made it possible to confirm it was a new species. It was said that the dinosaur was likely about 23 feet long and at least 19 years old when it died. Scientists are still unsure how it died, but the crocodile bone in its mouth offers clues about its diet and hunting behavior. This discovery not only adds a new species to the dinosaur family tree, but also helps scientists better understand how the group Megaraptorians live and evolved. Now here comes Wolf TV Trivia.
Now let's look at today's sports news. The New York Giants made a bold move yesterday, announcing that veteran quarterback Russell Wilson will be benched in favor of Jackson Dart. The decision comes after a sluggish start to the season. where Wilson struggled to find consistency behind a patchwork offensive line. While his leadership and experience were praised in the locker room, the Giants believe a spark is needed to re-energize their offense. Jackson Dart, the young signal caller out of Ole Miss, will now take over under center. Known for his mobility and arm strength, Dart impressed in preseason action and has been steadily learning the Giant system. Head coach Brian Daboll emphasized that this is not just a temporary experiment, but a move to see if Dart can be the long-term answer at quarterback. The Giants fan base, hungry for a turnaround, will be watching closely as the team puts its future in the hands of the rookie.
College football is set for a blockbuster weekend with two exciting SEC battles. Number 3 LSU face Ole Miss in a rivalry showdown that could shape the conference standings. The Tigers lean on their explosive defense, but Ole Miss brings a balanced offense led by a strong backfield. Meanwhile, Alabama and Georgia square off in a heavyweight tilt that has clear playoff implications. The Bulldogs' defense will look to slow Alabama's speed on the edges, while the Tide hope their young quarterback can rise to the moment. In the NFL primetime matchups highlight Week 3, the Philadelphia Eagles meet the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a test of contrasting styles. The Eagles dominate ground game against Tampa Bay's stout defense front. On the other side, the Baltimore Ravens travel to face the Kansas City Chiefs and what many see as an early AFC playoff preview. Lamar Jackson's playmaking will go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes' magic, making this one of the season's most anticipated battles. Now it's time for Song of the Day.
In this life that I'm living, I pray I make it through the night. As I ride through my city, I'm thinking, looking at the lights. For so long we was hurting, I got the chance to make it right. Plenty times you done hurt me, I done been all alone at night. They claim that they with me,
Now let's take a look at the world of entertainment. A new Tron movie is coming to theaters October 10th called Tron Ares. This Tron movie is a sequel to the 2010 film Tron Legacy. A sophisticated AI program named Ares is dispatched from the digital world to the real world, marking humanity's first encounter with powerful AI beings and raising questions about who's in control of the technology. For fans, the excitement surrounding Tron Ares stems from the return of the franchise's iconic visual style and world, while exploring a fresh story driven by modern concerns over artificial intelligence.
PlayStation is having a State of Play broadcast later today at 4 p.m. These broadcasts reveal upcoming games and news related to the PlayStation console. There is much speculation about whether the broadcast will include something about the PlayStation 6 and games coming out for the PS6. Other rumored but unconfirmed highlights include potential reveals for Marvel's Wolverine and Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. Housemarque Games also announced in advance that it will reveal gameplay footage for their new Saros, which is followed up to the excellent 2021 roguelike hit Returnal. The broadcast will run over 35 minutes and can be watched on YouTube and Twitch.
Hey there folks, I'm Grayson Hansberger. Welcome back to Hansberger FM. This week's album is an absolute classic. It's got one of the best guitarists of all time, along with an extremely underrated drummer and a killer vocal performance. Its name is the same year it was released. It's 1984 by Van Halen. This is the type of record that you can throw on in almost any situation and make most people happy. It's filled with catchy choruses on every song, and it's got a couple hits. Jump is by far the most popular song in the album, and is even one of the most popular songs of the 80s. Another favorite of not just the public, but also of mine, is Panama. I'd say this is my favorite song of the album because my band plays it. I would also have to give a shout out to Girl Gone Bad with its insane guitar play, and Hot for Teacher with its iconic drum beat. Overall, I'd give 1984 a 9 out of 10.
Here's our joke for the day. Hey Grayson, why did the barber win the race?
Why?
He knew all the shortcuts. That's our show for today, Wolves. Thank you for watching Wolf TV, and until next time, let's make it a great day.